Hello everyone. Today I am going to share a topic about anatomy and embryology of the external and middle ear. Contents. References. External ear. External auditory canal. Middle ear cleft. Tympanic cavity. Eustachian tube. Mastoid air cell system. Internal auditory meatus. Development of ear. Derivatives of brachial arches. References. Scott Brown's Otolaryngology, Head and Neck Surgery. External ear. Functions. Early warning system by detecting and locating potentially threatening environmental sounds. Major role in balance system, giving important information about sudden changes in environment both external and self, to avoid falls and injury. Consists of auricle. External auditory canal. Auricle, pinna. Function in collecting sound. Lateral surface prominences and depressions unique in every individual's even in identical twins. Curved rim is the helix, has a small prominence Darwin's tubercle at its posterior aspect. Anterior to and parallel with helix is another prominence antihelix. Superiorly this divides into two crura, between is the triangular fossa. Scaphoid fossa lies above superior of two crura. Auricle, pinna. In front of antihelix is concha. It is divided into two portions by descending limb of anterior superior portion of helix known as crux of helix. Smaller superior portion is the cymba conchae direct lateral relation to suprameatal triangle of temporal bone. Larger inferior portion is known as cavum conchae. Below the crux of helix and overlapping the external auditory meatus is the tragus, is a blunt triangular prominence pointing posteriorly. Opposite the tragus, at the inferior limit of antihelix is antitragus. Intertragic notch separates tragus from antitragus. Auricle, pinna. Lobule lies below the antitragus, is soft being composed of fibrous and adipose tissue. Medial, cranial, surface has elevations corresponding to depressions eminentia conchae. Body of auricle is formed by elastic fibrocartilage is a continuous plate except for a narrow gap BW tragus and crux of helix where it is replaced by dense fibrous band incisura terminalis the site for endural incision. Two extrinsic ligaments which connects cartilage of pinna to temporal bone. Anterior ligament runs from tragus and from a cartilaginous spine on the anterior rim of the crux of helix to zygomatic arch. Posterior ligament runs from medial surface of concha to lateral surface of mastoid prominence. Intrinsic ligaments connect various parts of cartilaginous auricle BW tragus and helix and another runs from antihelix to posterior-inferior portion of helix. Auricle, pinna. Extrinsic muscles auricularis anterior, posterior, superior all three radiate out from auricle to insert into epicranial aponeurosis. Intrinsic muscles 6 in number are small inconsistent and without useful function. Skin of pinna is thin and closely attached to perichondrium on lateral surface. On medial surface there is a definite subdermal adipose layer that allows dissection during pinnaplasty surgery. Blood supply. Arterial supply branches of external carotid artery. Posterior auricular dominant supplies medial surface, except lobule, concha middle and lower portion of helix and lower part of antihelix. Anterior auricular branch of superficial temporal artery supply upper portion of helix, antihelix, triangular fossa, tragus and lobule. Superior auricular artery. Blood supply. Venous drainage. Auricular veins corresponds to arteries of auricle. Arteriovenous anastomosis are numerous in skin of auricle helps in regulation of core temperature. Cartilage is covered by perichondrium from which it derives its nutrients as cartilage itself is a vascular Stripping the perichondrium following injury leads to cartilage necrosis with crumpled up boxer's ear. Lymphatic drainage. Posterior surface mastoid tip. Tragus and upper part of anterior surface to preauricular nodes. Rest of the auricle to upper deep cervical nodes. Nerve supply. External auditory canal. Extends from concha of auricle to tympanic membrane and it is 2.4 centimeters long. Canal wall is cartilage in lateral 1-3, 8 mm and bone in medial 2-3, 16 mm. In adults, cartilaginous portion runs inwards, downwards, forwards and it is straightened by moving auricle upwards and backwards. In neonates, no bony meatus as tympanic bone is not developed and tympanic membrane is more horizontal so that the auricle must be gently drawn downwards and backwards. To constrictions 1 at junction of cartilaginous and bony portion and other isthmus, 5 mm from tympanic membrane. Deep to isthmus antero-inferior portion of wall dips to form wedge-shaped anterior recess difficult for access. 2 fissures, Santorini in cartilaginous part and foramen of Huschke in anteroinferior part of bony canal both permitting infections to and from parotid. Skin of ear canal lined by keratinizing stratified squamous epithelium contains fine vellus hairs and terminal hairs called tragi. Also contains clusters of ceruminous and sebaceous glands. Ceruminous glands are modified apocrine sweat glands which produce watery white secretions turns semi-solid and sticky as it dries. Sebaceous glands produce oily material, sebum, wax mixture of desquamated cells, cerumen, sebum. Dry wax lacking cerumen is yellowish or grey and brittle. Wet wax brownish and sticky. Arterial supply. Auricular branches of superficial temporal artery roof and anterior portion of canal. Deep auricular branches of maxillary artery anterior medial skin. Auricular branches of posterior auricular artery posterior portion of canal. Nerve supply. Trigeminal, facial, glossopharyngeal and vagus. Patient can cough during microsuction of canal because of stimulation of Arnold's nerve auricular branch of vagus. Middle ear cleft. Consists of tympanic cavity. Eustachian tube. Mastoid air cell system. Tympanic membrane. Lies at medial end of meatus and forms lateral wall of tympanic cavity. Oval in shape, forming an angle of 55 degree with floor of meatus. Most of circumference is thickened to form fibrocartilaginous ring. Tympanic annulus, which sits in a groove in tympanic bone. Tympanic sulcus. Sulcus doesn't extend into notch of Rivinus at roof of canal which is formed by squamous part of temporal bone. From the superior limits of sulcus the annulus becomes a fibrous band which runs centrally as anterior and posterior malleolar fold to lateral process and handle of malleus. Pars flaccida small triangular region of tympanic membrane above the malleolar folds within notch of Rivinus which doesn't have annulus at its margin. Pars tensa rest of tympanic membrane. Center of membrane where the tip of malleus handle is attached at umbo. Layers. Outer epithelial layer skin of external meatus. Middle fibrous layer lamina propria. Inner mucosal layer lining of tympanic cavity. Arterial supply. Epidermal and mucosal branches of maxillary artery. Nerve supply. Branches of auriculotemporal nerve. Auricular branch of vagus. Tympanic branch of glossopharyngeal nerve. Compartments. Epitympanum, upper. Mesotympanum, middle. Hypotympanum, lower. Retrotympanum. Protympanum. Lateral wall. Bony lateral wall of epitympanum superiorly. Tympanic membrane centrally. Bony lateral wall of hypotympanum inferiorly. Lateral epitympanic wall is wedge-shaped in section and its inferior portion. Outer attic wall or scutum thin and easily eroded in cholesteatoma. Medial wall separates tympanic cavity from internal ear. Promontory rounded elevation occupying much of central portion of medial wall. Behind and above the promontory. Oval window kidney-shaped opening covered by footplate of stapes. Round window lies below and behind oval window from which it is separated by posterior extension of promontory forming bony ridge subiculum. Ponticulus ridge of bone leaves the promontory above the subiculum and runs to pyramid on posterior wall of cavity. Facial nerve canal, fallopian canal, runs above promontory and oval window in anteroposterior direction. Facial canal is marked anteriorly marked by processus cochleariformis. Curved projection of bone houses tendon of tensor tympani muscle as it turns laterally to handle of malleus. Posterior wall. Adithus ad antrum leads back from posterior epitympanum to mastoid antrum. Fossa incudis small depression below adithus houses short process of incus. And suspensory ligament. Pyramid conical projection below fossa incudis houses stapedius muscle. Facial recess groove lies between pyramid and facial nerve and annulus of tympanic membrane, bounded medially by facial nerve and laterally by cauda tympani nerve. Sinus tympani posterior extension of mesotympanum into posterior wall and lies deep to facial nerve, pyramid, stapedius muscle, bounded superiorly by ponticulus inferiorly by subiculum. Most inaccessible site in middle ear when operating with microscope, cholesteatoma extended here from mesotympanum is difficult to eradicate. Roof. TEGMEN tympani thin bony plate separates middle ear from middle cranial fossa. Petrosquamous suture line doesn't close until adult life, route of access of infection into extradural space. Cog bony crest project from tegmen tympani, divides the posterior epitympanic space from small anterior epitympanic space, where residual cholesteatoma may be left. Floor. Separates hypotympanum from dome of jugular bulb. Occasionally, it is deficient covered only by fibrous tissue should be kept in mid while raising inferior portion tympan meatal flap. At junction of floor and medial wall inferior tympanic canaliculus allows Jacobson's nerve into middle ear from its origin below the base of skull. Anterior wall. In lower third, it consists of plate of bone covering carotid artery. Perforated by superior and inferior cortico-tympanic nerves carrying sympathetic fibers to tympanic plexus. In middle third, it contains tympanic orifice of eustachian tube. Just above this is a canal containing tensor tympani muscle. In upper third, usually pneumatized and contains supratubal recess. Arterial supply. Branches of internal and external carotid artery. Contents. Ossicles. Two muscles. Cauda tympani. Tympanic plexus. Malleus, hammer, largest of three ossicles. Comprises of head, neck, handle, manubrium, lateral and anterior process. Head lies in epitympanum suspended by superior ligament, has saddle facet articulates. With body of incus by synovial joint. Lateral process is prominent landmark on tympanic membrane and receives anterior and posterior malleolar folds. On the medial surface of handle, a small projection where tendon of tensor tympani muscle inserts. Cauda tympani crosses upper part of malleus handle. Above the insertion tendon of tensor tympani. Handle runs between mucosal and fibrous layer of tympanic membrane. In lower end it is very closely attached, fine web of mucosa separating handle from trademark in upper end, This can be opened surgically to create a slit without perforating the membrane to allow prosthesis. Incus, anvil. Has body, long and short process. Body lies in epitympanum suspended by superior incuedal ligament. Short process lie in fossa incudes by the attachment of short suspensory ligament. Long process descends into mesotympanum behind and medial to malleus handle, and its tip is lenticular process called fourth ossicle. Stapes. Like stirrup. Consists of head, neck, anterior and posterior crura and footplate. Head has cartilage-covered depression for synovial articulation with lenticular. Process of incus. Stapedius tendon inset into neck and posterior crus. Muscles. Stapedius arises from apex of pyramid and inserts into stapes, supplied by facial nerve. Tensor tympani arises from walls of bony canal lying above eustachian tube. Part of muscle also arises from cartilaginous portion and greater wing of sphenoid, runs backwards, lie on medial wall of tympanic cavity, and the tendon hooks around processes. Cochleariformis, an insert into handle of malleus, supplied by mandibular nerve. Mucosa. Mucus-secreting respiratory mucosa bearing cilia on its surface. 3 distinct mucociliary pathway. Epitympanic, promontorial, hypotympanic. These folds separate middle ear into compartments. Prissac space between pars flaccida and neck of malleus bounded by malleolar fold. Important role in retention of cholesteatoma. Cauda tympani nerve. Branch of facial nerve enters posterior canaliculus at junction of lateral and posterior wall. Runs across medial surface of tympanic membrane between mucosal and fibrous layers and passes medial to upper portion of handle of malleus. Leave by anterior canaliculus. Tympanic plexus on promontory. Formed by tympanic branch of glossopharyngeal nerve, Jacobson's nerve, and caroticotympanic nerves arise from sympathetic plexus around internal carotid artery. Provide branches to mucous membrane lining tympanic cavity, eustachian tube. Mastoid antrum and air cells. Eustachian tube. Dynamic channel links middle ear with nasopharynx. In adult it is 36 mm in length. Consists of 2 unequal cones. Lateral third, 12 mm, is bony, arises from anterior wall of tympanic cavity, joins. Medial cartilaginous, 24 mm, just after its narrowest point. Isthmus cartilaginous end is bent to resemble like J, thereby forming longer medial and shorter lateral cartilaginous lamina. Lined by respiratory epithelium containing goblet cells and mucus glands. Apex of cartilage is attached to isthmus of bony portion, while the wider medial end protrudes into nasopharynx, lying directly under the mucosa to form torus tuberis. In nasopharynx, tube opens 1 to 1.25 cm behind and below the posterior end of inferior turbinate. Behind the torus is pharyngeal recess or fossa of Rosenmüller. Muscles attached to eustachian tube. Tensor tympani muscle arises from scaphoid fossa of pterygoid plate, lateral cartilaginous lamina, converge to form tendon turns around pterygoid hamulus and spread out within soft palate to meet fibers from other side in midline raphe, supplied by mandibular nerve. Salpingopharyngeus slender muscle attached to inferior part cartilaginous tube and blends with palatopharyngeus. Levator palti arises from lower surface of cartilaginous tube, petrous bone, carotid sheath fascia, crosses to medial side and spreads into soft palate. Both supplied by pharyngeal plexus. Mastoid antrum. Air-filled sinus within petrous part of temporal bone. Communicates with middle ear through adithus and has mastoid air cells arising from its wall. Antrum is well developed at birth and by adult life has volume of about 2 milliliters. Roof floor of middle cranial fossa, Medial wall relates to posterior semicircular canal. Posterior belly of digastric muscle form groove in base of mastoid bone. Lies lateral to facial nerve and is a useful landmark. Outer wall is easily palpable behind pinna. McEwan's triangle direct lateral relation to mastoid antrum, formed by prolongation of line of zygomatic arch and tangent to this that passes through posterior border of external auditory meatus. Lining of mastoid flattened, non-ciliate epithelium without goblet cells and mucus glands. Sclerotic or a cellular mastoid applies only when mastoid antrum may be the only air-filled space in mastoid process, seen in 20% adult temporal bone, and in chronic ear disease individuals. Petrous apex is most medial aspect of temporal bone. Internal carotid artery, internal auditory meatus, trigeminal nerve running into Meckel's cave with abducent nerve. Grade-Nygos syndrome infection of petrous apex causing lateral rectus palsy. Facial pain, discharging ear. Short canal 1 cm lined by dura, passes into petrous bone in lateral direction from cerebellopontine angle. Transmits facial, cochlear, vestibular nerves and internal auditory artery and vein. Meatus covered by plate of bone for passage of nerves and blood vessels to and from cranial cavity. Transverse crest, crista falciformis. Separates meatus into small upper and larger lower area. Above the crest and anteriorly is facial canal carrying facial nerve. Separated by vertical ridge Bill's bar. Posterior region transmits superior vestibular nerve, supply superior. Lateral semicircular canal, utricle and saccule. Below the crest, cochlear nerve lies anteriorly. Inferior vestibular nerve passes posteriorly to supply posterior semicircular canal. Development of ear. From implantation of fertilized and dividing egg, blastocyst, to birth is divided into 3 periods. Pre-embryonic 21 days, embryonic 35 days, fetal 210 days. Embryonic phase rapid growth and differentiation of ecto, meso and endoderm. All major organ systems have been formed. Fetal period change in shape, size and orientation of structure, but no new tissue develop. In mammals, during early embryonic life, mesenchyme surrounding the primitive foregut and pharynx differentiates into maxillary and mandibular swelling on each side of midline just above and below the buccopharyngeal membrane. This then breaks, which will become both nasal and buccal cavities. In the mesenchyme surrounding the pharynx, 5 or 6 parallel thickenings develop. These are branchial arches, numbered 1 to 6 from head to tail. On external surface a groove develops between each branchial arch. And this is matched by cleft or pouch on inner pharyngeal surface. In each branchial arch a bar of cartilage, group of muscles, associated artery, and cranial nerve supplying these structures and their derivatives. Cranial nerve, post-traumatic nerve, a nerve from the arch lower down supplies the inner endodermal surface of arch above pretraumatic nerve. From first and second brachial arches. First pharyngeal pouch on inside expands due to rapid growth of surrounding mesenchyme after dragging in some second pouch endoderm, result in Eustachian tube, middle ear, mastoid antrum. Eustachian tube lumen, middle ear spaces formed by 8 months. An epitympanum and mastoid antrum developed by birth. At birth, mastoid air cells filled with amniotic fluid. Development of mastoid air cell system starts after birth. 90% completed at age of 6 years. In 4th week, endoderm precursor of middle ear lies against ectoderm of first pharyngeal groove. Mesenchyme grows in between these 2 layers forming tympanic membrane. Ossicles developed from outer ends of first arch Meckel's. Second arch, Reichart's, cartilage. Tensor tympani, first arch, supplied by mandibular nerve. External auditory canal, first pharyngeal groove. Meatus deepens by proliferation of its ectoderm, which will cover future tympanic membrane. Development of auricle, pinna. 6 small cartilaginous tubercle that surround first pharyngeal groove. Hillocks or tubercles of his. Majority of auricle develops from second arch cartilage. Tragus alone developed from first arch. Internal ear development. Development of labyrinth, initial development of generalized structure of membranous labyrinth followed by period of encasement by bony labyrinth. Ectodermal thickening on side of head, end of embryo form neural tube and neural crest cells which becomes brain and brainstem and cranial nerves. Ectodermal thickening is otic placode, deepens and sinks below the surface to form otic pit which loses communication, otocyst. Associated with otocyst is cluster of neural crest cells that become facial, geniculate. Auditory, spiral, and vestibular, Scarpa's, ganglion. Otocyst undergoes series of spectacular changes to form membranous labyrinth. Semicircular canals develop 35 days as 3 flattened pouches that grow out at right angles. From each other form utricle. Superior semicircular canal is first to be fully formed. Cochlea starts to be formed. Saccule separated from utricle starts to put out a single pouch-like process that grows and then begins to coil from base to apex to reach its full 2.5 coils by 25 weeks. Within membranous labyrinth, sensory cell S of 3 cristae to maculae and organ of Corti develop from areas of ectoderm. Organ of Corti developing as single block of heaped up ectodermal cell S at 1 weeks. Within this mass develop inner and outer hair cells and supporting cells. Epithelium close to sensory region develops into specialized cell groups that maintain ionic and electrical stability of endolymph, stria vascularis of cochlear duct and dark cell, region of vestibular sensory epithelium. Development of bony labyrinth. Mesenchyme enclosing the otocyst becomes chondrified to form otic capsule. As membranous labyrinth expands, the otic capsule remodels and undergoes dedifferentiation to form fluid-filled spaces which becomes perilymphatic spaces. It becomes continuous and communication with CSF is formed by development of cochlear aqueduct. Ossification of otic capsule fuse without leaving suture line, which forms petrous bone. Certain channels remain within otic capsule, one of most important being oval window, where part of otic capsule becomes stapes footplate. Development of temporal bone. 4 separate elements fuse to form temporal bone. Patromastod derived from petrous bone form roof and floor of middle ear. Lateral wall of eustachian tube, canal of facial nerve and petrous apex. Squamous bone develops in mesenchyme, form roof of zygoma, lateral wall of mastoid antrum. Tympanic bone formed in mesenchyme, around external meatus, even by late fetal life bony ear canal is unformed, only after birth crescentic swelling fuse leaving a gap in floor of ear canal foramen of Huschke. Styloid develops from second arch. Much of growth of temporal bone occurs after birth, with enlargement of whole structure and major growth of mastoid process takes place, so that stylomastod foramen initially close to surface become buried by mastoid tip development. Thank you for your time and attention. Please like, share and subscribe.